Hey guys, Marcus Katkin with Blindside Football, back for another daily fantasy update. Here to recap yesterday's late games, starting off with the Jets and the Titans. I don't know what to tell you about this one, guys. The Jets and the Titans are pretty much fantasy wastelands right now at this point for your playoffs. None of these guys should be started unless you're in extremely deep leagues and extremely desperate. Jake Locker gets hurt in this one. Charlie Whitehurst comes in. Sean Green gets the majority of the carries over Bishop Sankey, and Eric Decker, 7 catches for 100 yards. But like I said, none of these guys you should be trusting in your fantasy playoffs. Some people you've probably been trusting through your fantasy playoffs, the Broncos against the Chargers. They got you to your fantasy playoffs, but man, they've been struggling to keep you through the fantasy playoffs. Peyton Manning, just 233 passing yards, just 1 passing touchdown. Really disappointed a lot of fantasy owners these last couple of weeks. C.J. Anderson, still strong in this game, but not as strong as he could have been, or hopefully should have been with the workload he got. 29 carries for 85 rushing yards. Demaryius Thomas, obviously, with the big day, 6 catches for 123 yards and a touchdown. And then Julius Thomas, guys, 1 catch for 30 yards. He had so many TDs early on and really has just been struggling to get catches and find the end zone as of late. Really going to be interesting to see how he's drafted next year, especially being a free agent. Maybe he doesn't stay in with the Broncos. We'll have to see what happens there. And then finally on this side of the ball, on the Chargers side, Brandon Oliver showing that he's the running back you want to own in San Diego if Ryan Matthews is hurt. Couldn't do much in this game, though. 12 carries for 26 yards. Antonio Gates catches the lone touchdown. Not much really going on in San Diego. Vikings and Lions. Drake Bell over 100 total yards. Golden Tate finds the end zone, and Calvin Johnson kind of disappoints, but all 3 of those guys probably going to be fantasy starters for you again next week. Vikings side, not a whole lot going on. Asiata finds the end zone. Charles Johnson still remains kind of that low-end wide receiver 3 play, but you're probably not starting any Vikings going forward as well. 49ers and Seahawks. Frank Gore suffers a concussion in this game. His backup, Carlos Hyde, suffers ankle and back injuries that both seem to be very minor, but tough to decide what's going to go on there in the backfield for the 49ers this upcoming week. Especially if Gore can't make it back in. Do you really trust Hyde being banged up if he gets a full workload? Tough to see and what goes on there. Marshawn Lynch, a guy you can trust here. 21 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. Solid running back 1. That's what he's been pretty much most of the second half of his career. Cowboys and Eagles. Tony Romo, 3 touchdowns in this one, all to Des Bryant, who, if you're like me, you love seeing, help you win your fantasy week. DeMarco Murray, 31 carries again, 81 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. But it looks like finally that workload may have caught up with him. Suffers a broken bone in his hand. He may or may not miss this week, so pay close attention to that. There's been some speculation on the recovery time. Some have had it less than a week. Some have had it at about a week. Just interesting to watch. DeMarco Murray has been a stud, an absolute elite stud for you all year. You'd hate to lose him for your championship week. LaShawn McCoy, just got vultured left and right yesterday. 2 vulture touchdowns by Chris Polk, 1 by Darren Sproles. So frustrating last night if you were a McCoy owner. Jeremy Maclin, 4 catches for 98 yards. And Jordan Matthews held without a catch. Very interesting there. Guys, don't forget to subscribe below for my daily fantasy updates. And follow me on Twitter @MarcusCatkin.